Ever heard of a knocker-upper? Before alarm clocks were common, people in 19th century Britain paid someone to wake them up. These human alarm clocks used long sticks, pea shooters, or even knocking on windows to rouse clients. The irony? No one knows who woke the knocker-upper. It was a real job, often done by elderly women or men who needed extra income. Imagine trusting your morning to a stranger with a stick. In ancient Egypt, professional mourners were hired to cry at funerals. These women wailed, tore their clothes, and covered themselves in ashes to show grief. It wasn't just drama, it was ritual. The louder the mourning, the more respected the deceased. Some even impersonated goddesses like Isis and Nephthys. It was a full-time job, and the best mourners were in high demand. Grief, it turns out, could be a performance art. During the Middle Ages, a gong farmer had the worst job imaginable, cleaning out cesspits. These brave souls worked at night, shoveling human waste from privies and transporting it outside city walls. The stench was unbearable, and the risk of disease was high. Yet it paid surprisingly well. No one wanted the job, but someone had to do it. Sanitation heroes before modern plumbing, they kept medieval cities from drowning in filth. In 18th century France, a whipping boy was a royal child's stand-in for punishment. Since no one could strike a prince, his friend or servant got whipped instead. The idea was that the prince would feel guilty seeing his companion suffer. It was a twisted form of moral education. Some whipping boys became close confidants of royalty, but others endured pain for someone else's mistakes. Talk about taking one for the team. In Victorian England, rat catchers were essential urban workers. Cities were overrun with rats, and these men used dogs, traps, and even their bare hands to catch them. Some rat catchers became minor celebrities, showing off their skills in public displays. They were paid per rat, so the job was both dangerous and competitive. Rabies, bites, and disease were constant threats. Still, it was a living, and a very smelly one. In medieval Europe, the sin eater was hired to absorb the sins of the dead. At funerals, they'd eat bread and drink ale placed on the corpse, symbolically taking on the deceased's sins. It was a spiritual cleanup job, often performed by outcasts. Sin eaters were feared and shunned, yet their role was vital for families seeking peace for their loved ones. A strange mix of superstition, religion, and desperation. Before refrigeration, ice cutters risked their lives harvesting frozen lakes. In the 19th century, these men used saws and horses to extract massive ice blocks, which were then stored in insulated warehouses. The ice was shipped globally, even to tropical countries. Falling into freezing water was a constant danger. It was grueling seasonal work, but essential for food preservation. These men literally carved out the cold chain of history.